Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by dusty fields and golden sunsets, there lived a poor girl named Leela. Her home was a small clay hut at the edge of the village where the road turned from stone to dirt. She lived with her grandmother and spent her days gathering firewood, carrying water from the well, and sewing old clothes to make them last another year. Though she had little, Leela had bright, curious eyes and a heart full of hope. One summer afternoon, something unusual happened. A fine carriage rolled into the village square, shining like a jewel under the sun. The horses were strong and white, their harnesses polished silver. Children ran behind it, laughing and pointing. Inside the carriage sat a young man dressed in a dark coat trimmed with gold buttons. His name was Arman, a wealthy merchant's son from the city. He had come to the village to inspect farmland his family had recently purchased. The villagers whispered, "Why would a rich man come here? He must be important. He won't stay long." Lila watched from a distance, her hands dusty from carrying wood. She expected him to look proud or distant. Instead, when he stepped down from the carriage, he smiled warmly at the crowd. Later that evening, Leela went to the river to wash clothes. As she knelt by the water, she heard a splash and a frustrated voice. "I think I've lost my footing." She turned and saw the wealthy stranger standing awkwardly among the reeds, his fine boots soaked in mud. Without thinking, she laughed, a bright, honest laugh. "You're standing where the riverbed sinks," she said. "You have to step on the flat stones." She walked across the water gracefully, showing him the safe path. He followed carefully, grateful and slightly embarrassed. "Thank you," he said. "I didn't expect the river to outsmart me." "It outsmarts everyone who thinks it's shallow," she replied. That was the beginning. Over the next few days, Armand found excuses to walk through the village. He asked Leela about the fields, the crops, the seasons. She spoke with knowledge she had learned from years of watching the land. He listened, truly listened, surprised at her wisdom. He had grown up surrounded by marble floors and silk curtains, but he had never known the patience of planting seeds or the quiet satisfaction of harvesting what you nurtured. One afternoon, he asked her, "If you could leave this village, would you?" Lila looked at the hills, the river, her small hut in the distance. "I don't want to leave," she said. "I want it to be better." Her answer stayed with him. When Armand returned to the city, he could not forget her words. Months later, he came back, not with a grand carriage this time, but with plans. He invested in irrigation for the fields, built a proper well for clean water, and hired villagers at fair wages to improve the farmland. The village slowly began to prosper, but he did not come back only for business. He came back for Lila. One evening, under a sky painted with stars, he stood beside her near the river where they first met. "I thought I came here to manage land," he told her softly, "but I found something far more valuable." Lila smiled. "What did you find?" "A partner," he said. "Someone who sees wealth not in gold, but in growth." He did not promise her a palace or jewels. Instead, he promised respect, shared work, and a future built together. And Lila, the poor girl with hopeful eyes, did not become rich overnight. But she became something far greater, loved, valued, and part of a village that flourished because two very different worlds chose to grow together. And in time, people stopped saying, "A poor girl met a rich man." They began saying, "Two hearts met by the river and changed everything."